It is supposed to rain for the next 5 days or so. And if you look around, it rained this morning, but there's kind of a break in the rain right now. I want to fly the Scout a touch, get some time on it, make it work. I got the nitro up and running. She's running okay. Could use more power, but it's hard to judge. I'm still running rich fuel. It's too early to see. The Scout, on the other hand, last night would not run. Well, specifically, it would start and it wouldn't cross 3,000 RPM. I spent 2 hours working furiously on it, trying to, I thought it was the safe start for a while, and the Team Fly Halo guys are with me on text and phone, walking me through all the things. Could it be the spark plug? The Fly Henry has something like a safe start, which is my little... Anyway, I spent a bunch of time trying to get the Scout to run last night, and when I finally got it going, it was after dark, and I was screwed and frustrated. This morning, there's a little window of not raining. I'm gonna send it and see how she runs. So the Scout is the third paramotor I've owned, like fifth or sixth I've flown. The Fresh Breeze and the Air Conception Nitro both seem to like being kind of overprimed. That will stop a Scout from starting. So I'm learning it takes a little less fuel to get it going. Let's see how many pulls this takes. That barely counted. Oh, fuck. Ooh, close. I think I still have a lot to learn. So I think I see rain over there, and I think I see rain over there, but there's no rain right here, just really low clouds. I thought about getting above them. I'm gonna look. If I could see blue sky, I might, but they just look a little dense. I don't think it's the time to get above them. I just wanted to get up and test the Scout and see if we can get the bugs worked out. Not being able to get over 3,000 RPM was a pretty big bug. I need to add throttle. But that seems to be sorted out. She's running well now. The idle might be a little high. It's hard to adjust the idle on the ground because it's not fully warmed up. The flight environment's slightly different. But yeah. I think we got the Scout more dialed in. For those of you that don't know, that is called a sucker hole. It's a hole between the clouds large enough for you to legally get above them. And then, I don't know the rules for other planes, but for me, I just have to make sure that there's always a hole where I can see the ground. So I need to be able to see the ground, and I need to be certain distances away from the clouds. It's like 2,000 feet, and then there's shorter ones, 500 and 1,000 feet vertically. But the point is, that's a sucker hole. That one's a little small to be a sucker hole, but that's a sucker hole. And that's how you legally get above these things. They're called sucker holes for a reason. Now, what can happen is you get above them, and then the clouds close up underneath you, and now you're in a spot where you don't know how high you are. You know, who knows? The cloud could go all the way down to the ground, and you land in trees. You don't know your altitude. Yucky things could happen. I feel like in a paramotor, it's a little less dangerous than, say, an airplane, because you descend so slowly, it would be weird to crash all the way into the trees. But still, this is the kind of thing, that's how I got up here, and it's kind of a do as I do, not as I say type thing, because, there's an amount of a risk associated with being above the clouds and perhaps not knowing where you are. But if you do take the risk, the reward is pretty special. If you've never been at 5,000 or 6,000 feet above the clouds on a flying lawn chair, it's a pretty special experience. Like, not only is this so beautiful, the camera cannot do it justice, but there's a guilty pleasure about me having a lovely sunny day while the rest of my world is down there on and off rain, cloudy, dreary, yucky. You know, it's a privileged perspective. It's why I want to be a tandem pilot. My wife is not on board with the tandem pilot idea, but if I stopped at the first no, I'd never do anything cool. She's just worried that, like, if something goes wrong, that we could lose everything we've ever worked for. So it's not a crazy thought, and she's not just being a jerk, but I want to share this. I want to share this with everybody, like with you. I wish that I could do this with other people. It's not a money thing. It's just like, I feel like I'd be making lives complete if I could show them, you know, what this is all about. I don't know, it would be really special to me. And then extra special for people who can't fly on their own, like children or like wounded veterans. That thing's in my head a lot lately. What started off as a yucky day where I didn't think I'd be able to fly turned into something really special. All right, so as my subscribers all know, thermals happen when the sun heats up the ground heats up the air, low hot air has to rise, it makes these columns. And you can see, like, that's the result of a thermal right there. There's a rising column of air pushing those clouds up. But by and large, it's pretty smooth above this cloud layer. The deal is the sun's just not penetrating it very much to warm up the ground like it would on a sunny day. So today would be a lousy day to turn the motor off and try and thermal. It's just a pretty special day for motoring up above them and enjoying the view. It's noon, and there's really not a bump to be found right here, even though it's noon, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm currently at 7,400 feet. I don't know if you can see my watch. And dropping. I think I hit about 7,500 at the top. I don't know where I am, which is the risky run when you fly over clouds. So I'm going to come down through this giant hole and try and figure that out. I do have my phone if it comes down to that, but I suspect that once I get down there, I'll know what's up and I'll have a better field of view. I have 3.5 liters of fuel left, something like that, according to my little gauge. That should be about 45 minutes of fuel, so I should be fine for getting home. I think, you know, it's a rich mixture which gives you a little less miles per gallon, and it's a new paramotor to me, so I don't have a lot of air time to figure out its burn rate, but I think I have plenty of fuel to get home. I'm gonna do some wing overs to lose altitude and zip through this hole. Let me get my throttle sort of right. Yeah, that'll work. I've been doing so many wing overs on that 28-meter Swift. I sort of forgot how easy it is on a more agile wing. It's changed my mind on some of the pilots. I see guys on Facebook posting themselves going big on little wings, and it's like, bro, anybody can do that. You gotta get it sorted out on big wings so you know what the scoop is. So much altitude. I tried to do a barrel roll without enough outside brake. There we go, that was a better one. Oh wow. Suddenly it got like a lot warmer. Alright. Woohoo! Now, where the heck are we? So I don't know if it's in the picture, but I used my phone's GPS to kind of retrace my steps. What happened was I had been seeing that construction site, and there's a construction site not far from my house, so I thought that was it. But I got myself on the path back home, and I think I have enough fuel. It's a little bumpy under these clouds, but I should be okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna head this way. I'll probably increase my trim speed a bit and work my way back. So the deal is, I think I'm really close to home. I've been sitting here with like a lot of fuel anxiety for the last 30 or 40 minutes because I wasn't where I thought I was. I wasn't sure how long I was from home. I didn't know if I could make it. I'm looking at these different LZs thinking, well, it's not time yet. I've got like 30 minutes of fuel. But the plan was to land in a random field, have my wife bring me more gas, and then fly back. But I think this is right by my house. I am oddly lost for how close I think I am to home. But I never come from this direction, so it's kind of weird to me. But if this is the construction site by my house, then I should live right over there somewhere. That's the horse farm? Yeah. I think I know where. I am like mentally challenged with regards to directions and such, which is not really a great attribute to have in this hobby. But I might literally see my house and still not be sure. It might be that opening over there. So I'm gonna head over there and put her down and be glad I had an amazing flight. Oh, thank goodness. I'm home. So that is my house. You guys probably know it by now. It's the one with that like brick circle in the front. And I'm so turned around, I really don't have a clue which direction the wind is coming from. So I'm gonna do a lap around the yard or two and we'll be set. It says I have almost 2 liters of fuel. This fuel gauge is actually kind of nice to have. So I should have about 20 or 30 minutes of fuel. I can see the clouds moving across the yard, so that's like an indicator of the wind direction. Anyway, I should have like 20 minutes of fuel and like 3 minutes of flying left to do. So that's not a concern. I'm gonna take a lap around the yard so I can figure out the wind direction and then set her down. Scout's new to me and it's so windy and rocking today that, you know, and it looks like it's a little windy down there based on the windsock. If I can stay away from the rotor, a little windy usually means an easy landing. Damn. Based on the windsock, there's like 2 different approaches I would take, like as a final. One is more preferable because it's longer, and the other is more preferable because I think it's the predominant wind direction. You know what? I might take another lap. I have the fuel for it. Woohoo! Rocking and rolling up here. Yep, I'm gonna land the same way I launched, even though it's shorter, because I think it's the predominant wind direction. It'd be nice if the windsocks agreed with each other. Woo-wee, it's a hot one. rocking and rolling. You know, I felt like I was too high or too low, and now it feels like I'm too high. Fuck it, I'm doing a go around. It's just hard. I hate to be rocking so much right as I cross that power line. And, you know, I want a little altitude for safety. See this? But then I need to get down right on the other side of it. Here we are. Let's hope this dives a little bit for me. Here we go. This is our approach. Get down, baby. I'm gonna land right on this damn driveway, which I don't like. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a hot one. But here I am on my feet. That was just a lot to deal with. This is why a lot of instructors say not to fly in the middle of the day. It's just trickier. It's just trickier. Alrighty. Well, I'll see you on the outro. What a flight. Wow. Like, what was gonna be a half-hour test flight of just, you know, because the reason I chose the Scout is not because I like it more. I'm still deciding that. It's because it wasn't running right, and I wanted to test it and make sure everything is cool. The guys from Team Fly Halo were kind of on me, like, Woody, you know, you gonna get a chance to test it? Is it okay? And by the way, both Aviator and Team Fly Halo give me an amazing level of support, so I appreciate you guys for that. So I tested it, and I have to say, like, on the landing, it would have been nicer to have the nitro. I don't know if it's just because I'm used to it, but it's kind of easier to be 10, 15 pounds lighter, whatever it is. You know, when it's bumpy like that and it drops you, like if you're not a pilot, imagine jumping off your kitchen chair. Easy, no big deal, right? Now imagine doing it with a 40-pound backpack. Okay, you know, maybe you think, maybe you carefully jump off it. Now do a 60-pound backpack, and that's the difference. On the other hand, the extra power of the Scout was really nice. You know, the holes are getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how well the camera shows them. But at the time it was like, you know, I wanted to scoot through that sucker hole and not linger there for a long time. And the more powerful Scout climbs better. So, you know, I guess it depends on, I'm still deciding, you know. And when the Tornado shows up and it's light and climbs, that'll be another contender for, you know, which motor do I reach for all the time. But Scout is running great. I'm super happy with that. I think I'm going to back off the idle speed just a touch. But, man, it's just, what a day. What a flight. That was incredible. I feel like rich in spirit, if that's the thing. Like, I'm emotionally richer from just having gone through that. It was a little sketch. I was lost. Oh, I'll show you. Long outro. I have a little less than 2 liters of fuel. And to be honest, that's not a big deal. 2 liters is what I try to land with. It's about half an hour. Oops. That's about half an hour of like reserve fuel in case things don't go as planned, or maybe you have a little bigger headwind than you thought. I like to land with 2 liters. You don't go nuts and make it 8 liters because now you're landing heavy again. But you don't land on 0 either because you want to choose when you land. So that was perfect. It was just really anxiety inducing because I was lost. Well, I hope you like this video. I like making it.